our second speaker with his speech entitled "The Silent Stone Throw," Kirk Jensen.
It was a warm evening in Camrose that day. The neighborhood was about usual. Neighbors were leaning over, talking to other neighbors. Kids were playing ball, and people were walking their dog. Myself, I was 9 years old, and I was playing with my middle brother, Kent, who was 7 years old. Just playing ball in the street. My other brother, Craig, who was 5, was off doing his own thing with his friends. It was a long day in June, and the sun was just setting, trying to touch the horizon. When all of a sudden there came a shriek from the creek down below. A couple of kids came running up the hill, and one was holding his eye. And as he came closer, we could all see that there was blood streaming between his fingers. And he was wailing. "Somebody hit me with a rock! Somebody threw a rock at me! Somebody hit me!" Well, all of a sudden there was mass pandemonium. Parents were running in from their houses, grabbing Kleenexes, everyone trying to calm down the situation. A crowd formed around the little boy, and they tried to stop the bleeding, they tried to settle him down. One of the adults asked, "What happened?" "I got hit with a stone, somebody hit me with a stone." And the other little boy that was with him said, "It was Craig. It was Craig Jensen. We saw him in the forest. He threw the stone." Well, Kent and I looked quickly around the crowd for Craig, but he wasn't there. A couple of calls to the forest for Craig, and he wasn't there. He didn't come. Time passed. A couple hours later, Kent and I were just on the couch, when all of a sudden we heard the back door open up. Kent and I jumped out off the couch. We were going to get Craig. We were going to see what was he doing. And as we came into the hallway, there stood Craig in his soiled pants and his stained green knees, just like any little kid would be. And immediately we pounced on him. "Craig, why did you throw a rock at Stephen? Why did you do that? You could have hurt him. Did you know he could have lost his eye? He's in the hospital now." And Craig took a step back. My little brother was in shock. See, I didn't throw a stone. It wasn't me. I didn't throw a stone. And immediately Kent and I bombarded him again. "Yes, you did. We know you threw the stone. They said you threw the stone." Well, Craig shrunk. And even myself as a 9-year-old boy, I could see his eyes going back into his head. I could see how we were draining the life right out of him. We reduced him to tears. My father came down the stairs. He heard the last part of this conversation. He looked at Kent and I, then he looked at my brother Craig. And he knelt down and said, "Son, are you okay? Are you okay, Craig?" And Craig just said, "Dad, I didn't throw the stone." And he continued to cry. He said, "Craig, go upstairs, I'll be with you in a minute." My dad was burning inside. My father, it's not difficult to see when he's upset. My dad was upset. You see, he didn't have any family over here in Canada. He came by himself from Denmark, not knowing any English. And the only family he had was what was here in Camrose. And he looked at me, and then he looked at Kent, and he said, "If you won't listen to your brother, who do you think will? You are the only ears he has right now, and if you won't listen to him, no one will. You are here to support your brother. As your brother goes, you go. Whatever he does, you do, whether he's right or whether he's wrong." Am I making myself clear? He said. Am I making myself clear? Kent and I didn't say anything. We were numb. But one thing was for sure, is that we were clear. The rest of that night, the next day, excuse me, we supported Craig wherever we went. If he was wrong, we were wrong. We were together. And it felt good to be with him. And I can tell you from my experience is that the look in his face as we stood beside him was worth more than whether he was right or wrong. The feeling that I had in my heart and with my pride was worth more than if he did or didn't do it. You see, 2 days later, a little boy from down the neighborhood confessed to throwing the rock. And here we were as brothers, and we couldn't even believe him or give him the chance. With our theme of unity tonight, I'd like to say, always support one another. Support your family, support your community, support your country. You see, if we fly together, if we birds that fly together, we'll stick together. Please support one another and always be there. Madam Toastmaster.
That's why you have so much fun. No presents from Santa Claus. Sorry. However, Kirk Jensen has been a picture of nice.
Yeah, that's right.
Now to answer the question, Toastmasters, is there a Santa Claus?